Well, good morning, or whatever time it is for you there. It's morning for me. It's Thursday, November the 14th. I wanted to take an opportunity this morning just to shoot a very, hopefully short, quick video, specifically for an update of our churches that are supporting to us. First off, let me say specifically thank you to Pleasant Hill Baptist Church, to Tharptown Baptist Church, and the New Life Baptist Church. You have been our lifeblood. I also want to say thank you to the pastors, Pastor Chad, Pastor Josh, and Pastor Andy, for keeping our face and our name before your people. That is so important, and I can't thank you enough, because without you we would have a very difficult time being here. I'm not going to say we couldn't be here, but the Lord would have to rain down manna from heaven for us to be here. And I thank you that you have been our manna. You have been our rock from which we drink. Some of you may not be specifically aware of what we're doing. I know that not everyone gets our email reports. Understand, if you have access to the internet, and I know that not everyone does, but we do have an email report, we have a website, we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, we can Skype, so we're doing everything we can to facilitate communication with you. If there's some other way we could facilitate that communication, let us know. I know some of you have asked about postcards and letters. It's not exactly easy to go mail a letter here. The mail system doesn't always work, and if it does work, it's extremely slow. So by the time you got a letter, it may actually be 1 or 2 months later. So that's why we don't spend a lot of effort and time trying to send letters, and I apologize for that. Maybe we can find better ways to facilitate communication with you. Well, just to kind of give you an update on what we do here, in case you don't remember or are not aware, we do run a seminary. That was the primary reason for coming here. Currently we have 9 students. We were just finishing up Systematic Theology 1. In January we're going to make some adjustments as to how we do the seminary. We're constantly reforming. We are Semper Reformanda. We are always trying to find ways to better facilitate that. What we're going to probably do is move to 1-week modular lessons. That will allow us to take on more students. In fact, we hope to pick up at least 1 more student in January. So I will lecture for 30 hours, maybe for 1 week, and then they will have 2 months to do the reading and writing assignments on their own. On Thursdays, which this afternoon at 2:30, I'll be meeting with our Discipleship Fellowship. We regularly have about 3 men who are attending. We have anywhere from 6 to 7 that might come in and out, but we have 3 on a regular basis who are attending. Currently we're discussing worship with them. We've been discussing doctrines. We've been asked to also develop some leadership training courses for our pastors. This would be course material that they could take for their deacons, their elders, co-pastors, and leaders in the church, specifically teaching leaders. So we'll maybe have about 10 or 12 lessons that I'll develop when God grants the time to do that on just basic biblical doctrine. What is the doctrine of the Bible? What is the doctrine of the work and person of Jesus Christ? The doctrine of God, etc. Very simple. New ministry opportunities are constantly opening up for us in relationship to the seminary itself. I'm in contact now with a man on Luzon, which is the island that Manila is located at, the island north of us. He has land in northern Luzon that he would like to use to build a Bible college. Financially, we simply can't support him or help him right now, but we're hoping to be able to advise him and maybe help him with the development of curriculum, and he might be able to use the curriculum we already have. Some of you have asked about our finances. Where do we stand at financially? As you know, we came here on faith. Our budget was $2,000 a month. We had pledges for a little bit over. We had pledges for, I think, $1,250 when we came here. We have been kind of getting by on some of the love offerings and some of the extra gifts that we received. Also, I sold a car that was in the U.S. that was $5,000. We've consumed all of that. Now we're down to operating on our monthly budget. Our monthly income is at $1,000 a month right now. Last month we actually had more expenditures than we took in. That was because of a flat tire that we had to get repaired. We also had to do some extra travel for a ministry opportunity that was about 3 or 4 hours north of here that I simply couldn't pass up. And then, of course, we had a seminary student that lost his home. So we had to assist him with a little bit of some funds to help him relocate. So that put us over budget. We're praying that our budget would get back up to the $2,000. That would put us in a very comfortable position. Also be able to open up perhaps some more ministry opportunities for us. Another ministry opportunity, and one that we are going to pursue, God willing, is I'm in contact right now with a missionary who has a unique ministry to the Muslims. Let me give you I don't have time for a history lesson, but understand that Muslims here are a little bit different than the Muslims you might meet in the store in the U.S. There are normal people here that just don't eat pork and their wives wear a scarf on their head. But there is also a very active Islamic freedom movement here. They are armed rebels who are at open war with the government. I don't know if you follow the news, but in September on the island of Mindanao, one section of that Islamic freedom fighters took over an entire barangay, an entire section of a town, and had to be physically removed. And so they are in armed conflict. That armed conflict has been going on for quite some time now. The uniqueness of this brother's ministry is that he is in the area of and ministering directly to one faction of the armed Muslim rebels. He is there. He and his wife are teaching them English. They are providing ministry directly to the people there, directly to some of the armed fighters there. He does vacation Bible school with their children. He is teaching them about Christ. He's using the Quran to show them where Jesus is in the Quran, and then moving them from the Quran to the Bible. Slowly he's evangelizing there. It's fairly apparent that God's hand is on his work, and we would like to be able to come alongside with him and maybe find ways that we can encourage and assist him. Possibly also take him on as a BES student. As a matter of fact, at the end of this month, God willing, we'll be traveling to his area. I specifically ask your prayers as we travel to this area. Understand that most Filipinos who are not Muslims will not go there, and no white person would dare go there. This is one of the areas that the U.S. Embassy calls a red alert area. It has the highest alert, and you are told by the U.S. Travel Department of Homeland Security and by the embassy, do not go to this area. So we are trusting him. He has information, direct information that hopefully will allow us safe passage to the area, that we can assess his work, and that also we can find ways that we can perhaps work with him. Also, by us going there is showing those people that we trust them, to put our lives in their hands, and that opens up doors for us to minister through the pastor there. Travel, yeah, well, coming up in January, we're going to be traveling to Manila for sure. We may have to make some travels before then, but we'll be flying to Manila to facilitate some more visa issues. Our visa has been a constant problem and a constant drain. In addition to traveling to Cebu and now having to travel to Manila, we spend anywhere from about $125 to $250 a month just on visa waivers. So the goal is to get a residency visa. In order to facilitate that residency visa, we will have to leave the country, go to the U.S., acquire some documents because of the changes of visa rules here, and we will hopefully be returning to the U.S. in March. It's at that time we're hoping to be able to visit with you and speak with you. I'm just going to ask you, if you don't mind, help us. Get in touch with some of the churches and Christian organizations in your area. Would you please just be willing to help us to find opportunities to get in front of them, to talk to them, to share our ministry with them. As we plan to travel back to the U.S. in March, as soon as we can get some visa issues cleared in January, I'll keep you up to date on our dates of travel there. Long term, we are shooting for a residency visa. That'll not only solve all our visa problems and save us a lot of money, but that puts me in the step to applying to dual citizenship. Our goal, long term, is to acquire some land. We have surveyed an area outside the city. It's about 10 minutes from the city proper. It's about 20 minutes from my home here. It's in the area of Indahang. I've already shot a video on that. Indahang is a prime area for a church plant, so it may be that we can relocate one of the church plants, or we can start a new work there. We hope to acquire land, a building. We will move into that building, and that will save us rent. We spend about $325 a month just on rent. Utilities, all the utilities are less than $100 a month, so at least 40% of our income goes to just those basic survival before we buy food and before we pay the rented building we have here in the city for the church plant. Pastor Ben lives in that, and also we have the church there and we have BES there, so that would save us a lot of money if we could just acquire land and building. Also, it would give a permanent place to a church. Church buildings are a problem here because when you rent, you don't know month from month what you might be put out because somebody else is willing to pay more for the building, or they need the space. So that would solve a lot of long-term problems. That would allow us to build a multi-purpose building there that would train more pastors. Possibly we could grow it into something that would be self-supporting as well. Again, thank you, churches, so much for your help. Thank you, pastors. Look forward to seeing you in March. Hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you so much. God bless.